Okay, we up, we up, we up.
All right. Here we go. All right, got my notes. Let's get it started. Okay. So for today, we are talking about aspects because I feel like a lot of things cannot be explained until this is locked down and solidified in your brain. So what is an aspect? So you look at your birth chart, you can see all these different planets. You see your sun, your moon, your rising, all this other stuff, your Venus, all these other planets, right? Well, those planets have different conversations with each other throughout your birth chart, and it's called an aspect. So we're going to go over the words that describe the relationship between those planets. And so those words are going to be called conjunction, square, opposition, trine, and sextile. And we're going to go individually into each one. Okay. You got anything to say so far?
Think of aspects as connecting energy, because that's all it is. Like you said, relationships. You connect your energy with, like me and Megan, best friends. We're connecting our energy, okay? We're connecting our mental capacity to bring out something. So when you're connecting these energies, it's something good can always come from it. But if you don't know it's there, or you don't know the reason behind it, or what type of energy this is and how to make it work in your life, then it's not gonna pan out like you think it is. So being more awakened about the energies that you possess, or if you're doing synastry, a person that you're connected with, you can see how y'all can work together, or where y'all butt heads at, and where y'all can work and make shit, flow a little better.
So yeah, and also positive things too, where your strengths are in the relationship as well.
Definitely.
So if we start off with conjunction, that means the same. That's the actual definition of conjunction, is the same, which means you have two of the exact same energies now overlapping each other, or crossing over, entangling, conversing, however you want to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people get confused when they hear conjunction. They hear the same, they think, oh, great, it must be good. You know what I mean? And in certain occasions, if we have two of these same energies going towards the same goal, then yes, it is great. It's wonderful. Whee! But if by any means there's a disagreement there, depending on which energies we're dealing with, and we'll get into that in a second, it may or may not result in conflict. Conjunction is a hard aspect, and hard is something we consider not bad, but could be potentially tough, or have a bit of discomfort attached to it. It won't just flow like you would think two of the same energies would. Now, like I said, it's the same. It could go both ways. You could go great, it could go bad, it could be both at different times. Okay, so go for it.
Yeah. While you were saying that, like I said, it can go both ways. Thinking of it as not going the way you want it to, you have to think about aspects, because even though you got a good aspect, you may not know what to do with the energy. So you have to think of aspects as your weaknesses becoming your strengths, if that makes sense. Because if you can master these energies, your life can flow, okay? And anything thrown at you, you can make it through that shit using these.
And in that same breath, that whole sentence can be applied that direct opposite. If you rest on your good aspects and you just say, oh, well, I have this, so it must just flow, you're going to waste that good opportunity. You're going to waste your potential, and it will go the opposite direction. It's the same thing.
Because you got to know your downfalls.
Exactly.
That's why we have the hard aspects. Because the more, not saying you have to just focus on the good, but that come in handy. But also, I look at my downfalls when it comes to my energies. Okay, well, I need to do better in this area. I got this conjunct this or whatever. I think I have moon square my Mercury or something like that. And that's just an example. Like, I would look at that, okay, how can I make this better? How can I make this a strength and not like a burden? Because every time somebody says something about a square, it's bad, it's hard, it's challenging. Yeah, it is, but that's what builds character.
Okay, so example time. Let's move into square.
Mhm.
And let's use that as an example so
Okay.
that we actually have an example of an aspect, because
Okay.
we haven't done that yet. So like she's just said, she has her moon square her Mercury. Okay. What does the moon represent? The nurturing, soft, vulnerable side of you, in a more vulnerable state, right? And then you have your Mercury, which represents your mind, the way you think, the way you communicate, right? So a square would be two energies that are in disagreement with each other, two elements that do not flow well together. Okay, so your moon is in Aquarius,
Right.
Your Mercury is in Taurus.
Right.
You have air and earth coming together. That's like a tornado. If we're being straight up, internally, you're kicking dust up, causing problems. Okay,
and not making no progress nowhere.
It's an issue there. Okay, but this is why we're doing this, because astrology is about self-awareness and growth and learning from what you were presented with. The lemons, we're going to make lemonade out of it. So out of you learning yourself and growing, what are you learning from this aspect?
Hold on. Got an idea. Sorry. Okay.
No worries.
Making lemons out of lemonade. It's beautiful. I love that.
Squeeze them, bitch. You're fine. Like,
you got to. Okay. My emotions get in the way. The most part, shit that I didn't even know, because when you think about the moon, you think about subconscious. So shit I didn't even know I had a problem with try to surface up when I try to speak out, if that makes sense. Or if I want to broadcast, how my mind works or whatever. It's like they won't understand you, okay? This, that, and the other. It's like I'm my own best friend, but I'm also my own worst enemy. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's difficult when it comes to me actualizing my feelings, my projects, whatever I want to present and give out. If I want to try to connect with some, even if I'm trying to connect with somebody like in real time, real life type shit, not just like me doing projects or anything like that, or working or whatever, because I've always been misunderstood, and I think
that's a side effect from that trait, because when you're younger years, you'll miscommunicate how you feel about things. Yes. People will take it
the other way
than you meant. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And that's the thing, because it's like, we'll talk about the houses in a different light. But I'm gonna just say, okay, my moon is in my 10th house. My Mercury is in my 12th house. So with it being in the 12th house, people can't really, they don't understand, they don't get what I say when I talk until later on, when shit actually actualizes out. Like I told you this, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that going on. And they actually see it. They might see it through me, but they'll see it in another scenario, and they'll come back and say something about, oh yeah, yeah, I told you that. But see, that's how I have to be. I have to be confident enough to even just speak, and leave it at that. Stand on all 10 toes, and like, okay, well, that's what I said. That's how I feel. You do what you want to do with that. I have to be more confident.
So what that aspect teaches you is how to, and like you said, by your Mercury being in your 12th house, you already have a difficulty of seeing 100% where things could have been miscommunicated. But what it does, this aspect over time teaches you to be more responsible via conversation, and make sure that your body language, everything that you're saying, is communicated clearly, and that it becomes your strength after a while. It's a weakness at first, but that's what life is all about. Growth. You know what I'm saying? Also, a little minor technical thing that I want to make sure that I mention, jumping back to conjunction really fast. You can have a conjunction in two different signs. You can have a conjunction with neighboring signs, as long as it's within 10 degrees of each other. So if you see that and you're like, oh, well, my sun is in Taurus, my moon is in Gemini, but it's saying that my sun and moon are conjunct. They are. You just are experiencing a different polarity of both of the energies, but they're sister signs, and it's that for a reason. You know what I mean? So like, you want it to be, I want it to be clear that it's the same energy, but it can come in different packages.
I'm pulling up my birth chart real quick. Because I don't
Oh,
have a
okay.
screenshot of my aspects, but I believe I have Sun conjunct Mercury, and both of them in the 12th house.
Exactly.
I think so.
Ugh, bless your heart.
Yeah, right. Got a lot of shit going on over here. Yep, Sun conjunct Mercury at 4 degrees.
So yeah, let's move in because
Okay.
I'm glad you said degrees, but we'll hit that in a second. So
Facts.
moving on to opposites. Okay. When we're talking about opposites, we're talking about literal opposites. If you're looking at your birth chart wheel, if you're on this side, the other planet we're talking about is right here on the other side, or here or there, but directly across from each other. Okay. You and I were speaking about this earlier. An opposition is still a hard aspect, but also it's kind of like one of my favorite bad aspects because it has good qualities to it. In order for you to be an opposite, it has to be in an agreeable element.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go further. So opposition, like a Taurus and a Scorpio, that's water and earth. It flows together. It works. Those two elements go together. Fire and air. You need air to burn. For fire to burn, it works out. You know what I mean? So an opposition is gonna be two elements that work together, but you've got two completely opposite polarities of both of those elements. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like with a Taurus and a Scorpio,
I got a Mercury opposition true node. So that's
Taurus and a Scorpio. See what I'm saying? And what that does is it gives you when you have an opposition, you get the opportunity to literally see the other side. If you guys figure, and I say you guys, but I'm meaning whatever two energies, whatever we're talking about.
Right.
If the choices are made to balance them together, it's beautiful. They don't say opposites attract for no freaking reason. It's really a thing. It really is beautiful when hot goes to cold and it works out, or when salty goes to sweet. It really is fire.
It's
okay,
there.
so like,
so use it.
Exactly. So when you see an opposition, I don't want you to think of, which honestly, when you see any aspect that's difficult, so to speak, I don't want you to be defeated by it because it's just a challenge. Life's only going to get freaking harder. So like, it's better if you know what you're facing and what you're up against and what you need to do and how to handle it. And just to go back just a little bit, when you think about a conjunction, you think about a mirror of yourself or a mirror of that energy.
Blended
the way to work through the way to work through a conjunction is to always turn your mirror around and make sure that anything that you may be, or that energy may be making you feel like you point the finger, you're triggered by you in that situation. So if anything's hitting you too hard, like if you got two people, like I said earlier, you got two Aries, if they're not in agreement, it's going to be a bunch of yelling. You know what I mean? No one's going to hear each other. No one's going to listen. You know what I mean? But like, if let's say we go evolved Aries listening, to each other, and they're being assertive, but they're also actively listening at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to make sure that it's balanced, because that's what we're trying to achieve.
They checking themselves. Aries, like in that situation with Aries, they're checking their cells. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And working together. That's why I was like blended energies can produce favorable outcomes.
Checking themselves instead of defending themselves, which is what you normally get.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but then also when you're looking at a square, the way to deal with the square is to honestly completely do the direct opposite, which it would be to forget yourself for a second and try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. That's going to be the only way that you can even slightly, start to get to a little bit of
an agreement. Yeah, trying to get an agreement. Or work with those energies.
You're attracted. That's the thing, is that the energies are attracted to each other, though. So it's always like you always see someone with like a random, like the most toxic shit you ever see is like an Aries and a Capricorn or Aries and a Scorpio.
Lord.
It's always so boring to deal with a Scorpio. It's always so much drama for no, like, what are we doing?
Like, why?
Like,
get your shit together.
Right. I'm always like, it's really the drama, guys. Like, come on. But like I said, attracted to each other. It feels like, ooh, let's work this out later.
Right.
You know what I
mean? That's what it's like. It makes you uncomfortable because it's trying to elevate you in some way, shape, or form. It's like a spiritual lesson or a life lesson that's gonna be a stepping stone for you.
Exactly.
So you putting, like you said, putting yourself out of it and looking at the problem and trying to make a solution about the shit. That's basically all that is.
Yeah.
But when you add in the different energies, it's a little bit different and whatever the case may be.
So I have a very annoying square in my chart. Mars square Uranus. Okay. And you remember we were talking earlier, I only have one
impulsive decision.
Bro, I only have one fire sign in my chart. It just so happens to be at home in Mars, okay? Then you fuck around and put it in my 8th house. And then you square it with Uranus. So it makes me a freaking lunatic. Like, it's just like, it does. Randomly spazzing for like just fast.
Just because the sky is blue today, and I just know it's blue, but I want to tell you it's purple.
My road rage is dumb.
I can't, boy. Listen, let's not talk about the road,
bro. Someone has to stop me. This guy I was on a date with, he's like, "You should get a gun." I'm like, "No, I shouldn't." like that ass, because it's up. No, I shouldn't. Like, because that's the way. That's the way right there for me to end up in jail for life. Because you cut me off in traffic and I followed you for 3 freaking miles. It got your motherfucking ass. Like,
now what? Who's cutting who off now? The fuck?
I don't have time for it. I freaking can't.
I just can't, and I don't know. The Mars and Aries is just it's tricky. And for years, I just been fighting bitches just because they said the wrong shit, like, or I felt disrespected. Which most of the time I was disrespected because, like, I don't fuck with nobody, so why you fucking with me? But with that Mars, and this is another thing is my Mars is in my 11th. And it's like friends or people. You get me? It don't matter. I remember I fought somebody at a damn boat basin.
Yeah, she's been my best friend for like
years. We
was in the sandbox together, bro. So this is ridiculous. But every time we couldn't find her, it was trouble. Like, if in the mornings we couldn't locate her, we just started getting nervous. Like. Who's she mad at right now? Like,
just don't fuck with me, cause it's like I be chilling. I'm a chill ass person. That moon in Aquarius and that Taurus, I'm a chill ass person. But don't flip the switch.
Well, also was the most bothered person in the group. But I'm just gonna let that be what it is.
Done. Okay. Cause don't be
also used to want to be a WWE wrestler. So
still do shit.
Still
low key.
Hey, y'all sponsor my girl.
I'm here. I'm ready. Ready to get in the ring. For sure.
I love it so much. Oh my god. But anyway, focus. I love you.
Oh, we like Dolo. That's why I said that shit. That's my dog. We fuck with him. Like boss bitch.
For sure.
This nigga lit as fuck.
Oh my god, I love him so much.
Fuck with him. Okay, let's get back on track.
Focus. Okay. Anyway, so now we've talked about the opposition. Obviously, opposition would be put your pride to the side and work together. Right. Just try to balance that shit out. Just calm the fuck down. The opposition is not as crazy as the other two. It can get that way if we start dealing with Pluto and Mars and all that other shit. But we'll get into that later. It depends on the energy you're dealing with. But even that can be worked through, Moving on to Trine. Now we're into easy aspects and things that feel good and nice and shit that you don't have to be like, Is she gonna stab me? Like, you know what I mean?
What's
Like,
going on?
like, whoa, you know, so a trine is when it's in the same element. So it's all earth signs, it's all water signs, it's all air, it's all fire. Whenever you got a balance of elements together, it's a good time. You ever seen a bunch of earth signs come together and eat? It's beautiful. Oh my God. It's freaking
Lovely.
delightful. A bunch of fire signs working out together. Shut up. What? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
A bunch of air signs creating and coming up with shit. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of
And
water
it's like
signs
they
crying
just
together.
fucking flowing. They like being, they like in they prime. Hold on, somebody's
They're
knocking on my damn door.
literally in their element. Like, where you go? What? Well, I'm gonna eat some chicken. In the meantime. That is crazy. Where did you go?
My bad. That was my nephew. I forgot I told him he can use my car. He got to work or something. Auntie duties. What is that you? Oh, you want? Let me eat some. Damn, I should have got my spaghetti out. I'll do it afterwards though.
Okay. What's the matter? What's the matter?
Nah.
Oh, what you laughing at?
He was like, it's an interesting little snack. Oh, fuck. I'm trying my incense out.
I got these little garden ranch chips from Sprouts.
Garden what?
Garden ranch. Like, these bitches hard.
Them hoes, oh, they look good.
They
you know
are.
them bitches busting.
And they like didn't cheat you on the seasoning on every chip. That's what get me, you know.
They take their time with that shit. I mean, Takis do the same thing, but you know. Them bitches don't hold back.
If I'm going out of my way to get your product, like I want seasoning on every chip.
I want my shit.
Crop dusting the little shit, you know what I'm saying? I know that shit.
Oh, good.
Like real seasoned shit. Can you tell we're sourcing?
Let's take a break.
Anyway, moving forward. So yeah, Trine. We're all like you were saying before. They're literally in their element. They're in their own vibe, chilling, doing what they do together. It's an easygoing situation. Okay. And so the only thing that I have that's slightly negative about Trines is that too many of them makes a person lazy. If we're speaking natally and in a synastry chart, it can make you take for granted the things you were blessed with. For example, let's say you have Libra on your rising or whatever. So, and that's already Venus. So you're beautiful, right? And then you got let's say all of your let's say all of your inner planets are all like fire signs, right? So you got like, let's say you're a Leo sun, you're a Sag moon. We'll throw in the water sign for fun. Let's say oh no, because we're trining right now. So we'll do a Sag Mercury or whatever, and we'll do Aries, Venus, and Mars, right? Okay, so you're gorgeous already, and then your whole inner being is fire, which is all trining each other. It's all going together. Yes, you have beautiful, raw, golden potential, but you may rest on that potential and not work as hard as you could because you're already a star and people already look at you. And that's usually the character of that story I get is like a Regina George, because Regina George is gorgeous, okay? But if you think about her character, even when they were trying to sabotage her, she was just waking up every day doing her thing. It was never like
being a bitch.
Yeah, you know, but like she already had a lot of money. She already had a style, a fashion sense. She didn't really work hard to be herself. It was just her, and people were kind of just envious of that and wanted to be like her. But then here comes Katie. I did the same thing. Wow,
Patty. It's
Katie.
Katie.
Here comes freaking Katie, who is new, trying and putting in effort to become this girl, right? And quickly surpassed Regina because she was putting in effort that Regina wasn't.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So like that's kind of like the energy I get from a trine is having too much shit go in your favor can spoil you.
A spoiled ass person.
Right. Or someone who could take for granted a lot of things that they have. And if they are faced with a really fucked up Saturn transit, it'll hit you a little harder than everybody else. It'll be more dramatic for you because you don't know what it's like to discipline yourself. You know what I mean? Everything just kind of goes together too well. So, and that's also a negative benefit of a conjunction as well. Because a negative benefit, look at that. A negative, I said a negative benefit. I've never heard of that, but
I mean, I fuck with.
But that's kind of, it's like a blessing and a curse because when you have too many conjunctions, everything in your mind seems right to you. Like I've met people who have all like me. Shit, I have those Moon, Mercury, and Venus in Gemini. When I do something, somebody really has to convince me that I was wrong. If I was wrong, like I'm like, are you sure?
That's like earlier when we was talking. I was like, she'll talk. I ain't worried about it.
But yeah, like it's like that's what it takes a second for me to feel like. Well, probably could I have been wrong? Because I feel so in tune with the choices I make. You know what I mean?
As you should, though. But you know, we all gotta grow from something, or just be introduced to new shit.
Right. No, 100%. So, moving on to sextile. To close out the aspects, because there are more. There's a semi-sextile, there's a quintile, there's all these other things, but I don't have time for that because we don't need that right now. If you want to dive into it, let us know and we'll work on it. But like as of right now, it's not important. But sextile is gonna be, like I was saying earlier when we were talking about opposites. A sextile has to be two different elements that work together well. So fire and air, water and earth. It doesn't go any other way. I tried it. Fire, air, water, earth. Okay. When you go to the beach, you stand on the shore. What is that? Water meeting earth. Okay. When I light that blunt up in the air, it's only light because of the oxygen that's around. Okay. So you need, in order for a sextile to go, fire, water, or water, earth, fire, air. Sorry if I fucked y'all up right there. I'm gonna say it again. Water, earth, fire, air. Okay. So, examples of that, which is also, I had a really hard time explaining opposite without saying the word sextile, but I waited. I did good. So,
you did awesome.
Thank you. Oh my God. But no, but opposition is also a sextile. So, like my favorite example, Taurus and Scorpio. It is a sextile first because it is water and earth coming together, which is why I said oppositions are not as detrimental as a square or a conjunction can be. So, what other points did I want to make? Let's see. Also, just some fun facts. If ever you're like, because I get it, it's 12 signs, and everybody doesn't study this shit every day, though you should. If you're having a hard time remembering what squares what or what opposes what or whatever like that, you want to think in degrees and you want to think in a circle. Okay, so a conjunction would be obviously 0 degrees. So if you're seeing things sit on top of each other, it's a conjunction. If you're looking at an opposition, 180 degrees, you cut a circle in half, 180. So 180 degrees, go straight across from the sign or whatever. And then you got trine, which is 150. That's like an obtuse triangle. You know what I mean? And then you got your square, which is gonna make a perfect right angle in that bitch. Literally gonna make a flip. There you go.
Very much present.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Baby.
And then a sextile is going to be 60 degrees. And I want to say, please don't destroy me if I'm wrong, but I think it's every 3 signs. So
2. I thought it was 2.
2 and land on the 3rd.
Yeah, I think so.
So Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Yeah, you're right. So every 2 signs away.
Like right before we started. I never knew that.
But yeah, no, every it still feels like a 3rd to me, but I guess it's just because no, it is 3.
It's 3?
Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. No, fuck, you're right. It's 2.
Okay.
Shit.
I was gonna look it up.
Aries, Gemini. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Sorry, you're right. It's 2.
Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Oh, you're going to order. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's what it is. That's all right.
Edit this out.
Oh, we are, because we finna. What we on again? Because we got 8 minutes.
Okay. Oh, well, we're finished with the actual like names of the aspects right now. So we've already mentioned that they were hard. Blah 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 blah. Oh, we do want to mention it's detrimental to the understanding. Aspects are not fate. This is not guaranteed to be what happens. We all make our own choices. These are just the raw potentials and presets that are available and present. The older you get, the more of a break you got to give people around you. People do change, but it's up to them to make those changes and up to you to discern if they've made them. People who have evolved, you can see them. They look like Pharrell.
Yes.
They carry a vibe to them that is completely different, and you know when someone is on their shit trying to be a better person. You can tell the difference.
Yeah, their energy is different. How they talk, how they walk, what they study, what they think, how they,
their boundaries, what they will and will not accept from people. You can tell. You can tell. So
I don't hear that bullshit, because you can. If you're looking.
And also,
not thinking about yourself.
People make bad decisions. Bad people look up sometimes. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately.
So what it is that I just want to, and I'm going to say it a lot because it's important. Everyone always gets upset with astrologers because it makes it seem like we're predicting your future or something like that. Your future is in your hands. We are just telling you what you are up against, my God. Okay? We just are doing a little foreshadow.
Or we're bringing awareness to the energies that you carry and how you can work with the energies.
Also present in the current every day.
Right. Basically, alchemy. This is alchemy. This is alchemy, and this is just manifesting with what you have, the energy that you do have. So, I mean, it's like you said, it's up to you. Either you're gonna make a good choice or a bad choice.
Totally up to you. And are you going to ignore the signs after you figure them out? Because then that's totally up to you. Because I'm guilty as hell of that, of studying this shit for so long and looking at a chart and looking at a guy and being like, I see these red flags and I challenge you. Like, I am out here for this. Like
shit I done did. Ain't no more Leo placements in my life. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Like, X that shit out. You get me?
As the universe loads the Leo for you.
Right. I'm like, no,
red flag. Like I'm good.
Oh, we gonna get her ass. We're gonna have a Leo sun with all these other random ass placements. I ignore the sun, and that sun pop out, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
There you are.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I feel that.
The demon raising his head out, like the fuck.
I guess hold yourself accountable.
Definitely.
Once you figure out the energy, hold yourself accountable.
Like, damn.
Talking to myself, talking to y'all. Hold yourself accountable.
I'm the queen of accountability because I know when I fuck up. You feel me? And
I'm working on it.
Motherfuckers don't like when I hold them accountable. And I'm just like,
no, it doesn't feel good, Tiffany. We don't like it.
She don't like when I hold her accountable.
We don't like that shit. No, we don't. Like what?
I don't know. It must be the Aquarius. I don't know.
Saturn.
That's my most dominant planet. So yeah, motherfuckers don't like to see me coming. Damn, Saturn.
Yeah, we can't stand your ass.
It's all right. I love me though.
Yeah, I tried her with some shit yesterday. I called bitching. I'm not gonna get into it, but she was like, nah, you wrong. And
because I want somebody to tell me when I'm
she
wrong.
said it so angelically, just like, no, you're wrong. Yeah, it was great.
But it was in a constructive way.
Right.
You know?
It was. I needed it. It was great. But also, fuck. Like, like what? Like, oh my
let
God.
me sit in this energy. I mean, y'all, she was downright mad.
Mad.
And I'm listening.
Like,
and I'm like,
no.
But
just like I was a toddler. Like, no. Mm-mm. No candy for you.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just what it is. You feel me? And I'm thinking a mile a minute, so I'm trying to add up and calculate everything she's talking about. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's the common denominator? And usually, you know, it's some shit that you don't want to hear, like you said. That's usually what it is. Which is why we are trying to make it easier for you guys to understand yourself and the energies you possess and your issues and all that shit there. And yeah, we're gonna help y'all ass out bit by bit.
Something else that I want to mention before we run out of time right here.
All right.
Is
2 minutes.
The major theme of your life is going to be represented by the tightness of and the closeness of those aspects. So 0 and anything under 3 is going to be something that is heavily felt in whatever chart you're looking at, be it birth chart, ascension chart, composite chart, whatever. The 0 degrees, the ones that land on each other, those are actual collisions and things that will be experienced heavily, meaning it will not be a one-time occurrence that you deal with those energies coming together. So I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out, that 0 degrees, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, even sometimes 4 and 5, depending on how the planets we're dealing with, are heavily felt.
Yeah, self-mastery. That's what that is.
Yes.
The main energies of your life.
What you're in here in this motherfucker to deal with and learn.
And accomplish and learn and elevate.
Exactly.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Elevate.